What's up, y'all? Back up in the place to be. It's NATEDOGG. Picks for the Belmont Stakes on Saturday. We've got Derby winner Rich Strike back in this one. We've got We the People's coming back. Creative Ministers back in this one. Barbara Road. We got Mo Donegal coming back after taking a nap for the Preakness, just like Rich Strike did. However, we don't have Epicenter. I really wanted to see Epicenter in this race after running twice second in the Derby and Preakness. They're sitting this one out. Early voting came in, got the win in the Preakness, not going to run in the Belmont. So there are some horses that I would like to have seen in here that ain't going to run. But this is what we've got. Number one, We the People, as I was saying, the Peter Pan winner. Flavian Pratt's riding him. He got the win on him in the Peter Pan. Horse is bred by, sired by Constitution. So breeding is decent with this one. If you look at Constitution, this horse, breeding wise, he's a half brother cousin of Tiz the Law, who was the pseudo Belmont Stakes winner a couple years ago. They ran a race at a mile and an eighth, though. Very impressive time from Tiz the Law. I don't think We the People is necessarily the same horse, even though the breeding is very similar. We the People seems to be a bit slower than Tiz the Law was, but maybe he's just now coming into form. We'll see how he handles that mile and a half. Not quite as fast in the mile and an eighth that Tiz the Law ran. He did his mile and an eighth in 1:46. We the People was 2 seconds behind that. However, Tiz the Law's race was a lot more competitive. So, expecting this horse to kind of come out front, most likely. He's not a true front runner. But he ran out front in that Peter Pan, and I think he's probably likely to get the lead, at least be near the front in this one. Decent racing career, 4 outs, 3 wins. His only loss was in the Arkansas Derby, which was the only time he faced tougher competition, beat by Cyberknife in that one. And he's definitely facing better horses than Cyberknife in this one. So that was work cut out for him, but you can see why they got him as the favorite. I guess that win in the Peter Pan looked pretty impressive, despite, he wasn't facing too many tough horses, but, whenever a horse goes wire to wire in a big win, people like that, and it shows promise for the horse going forward. At number 2 is Skippy Longstocking. Horse out of Exaggerator. They've switched the jockey over to Manny Franco for this one. They got him at 20-1 in the morning line odds. I don't think he's that bad of a call. I don't really like Skippy Longstocking to win. He's the board hitting type horse, though. Likes to hit in the money, or at least make a run for it. In the Preakness last out, he didn't have much for him though. 5th in the Preakness, but he was 3rd in the Wood. He had a win in Gulfstream before that, an optional claimer. So I expect Skippy Longstocking to be able to probably hang off the pace, probably make a run for it. Got Manny Franco riding him. He knows the track all right, but he is Manny Franco. So like I said, not really expecting a win from Skippy Longstocking, but you may want to include him into some exotics, I don't know. Number 3, we got Nest at 8-1. Jose Ortiz switched over to riding this horse for Todd Pletcher after his brother Irad was riding him. Irad will be riding Mo Donegal, of course, in this one. This horse is a filly. Strong career, always in the money. 6 outs, 4 first places, 1 second, 1 third. However, that was always against the females, and this is running against males. Now, in her favor is the breeding. I think she's the best bred horse, with being sired by Curlin, which gives you Smart Strike back as the grandfather, and her other grandfather is AP Indy. So you got strong breeding in this one, probably the best in the race. Just don't know if Nest really has the speed. If we end up in a situation to where it ends up being a slow time, Nest, I think, is probably a good contender. She seems to have a lot of stamina, be able to keep running. Just not sure if she's going to have the speed to be able to come out on top. At number 4, Kentucky Derby winner Rich Strike. Now, I'm sure if it were up to Rich Strike, he would have run in the Preakness. That horse seems to have a lot of spunk, um, very excited, uh, frisky, um, but they sat him out. So he's going to come back ready for this one. Good workouts. He's been working out very well since that race before the Derby. That's another thing. Probably didn't notice, but he had that 59 breezing going into the Derby. He's held that up with a 47 breezing and a 59 breezing since. Jockey Sonny Leone is back aboard him. When you look at the breeding wise, he's bred by Keen Ice. You know, Keen Ice won the Travers. Keen Ice was sired by Curlin. You know, so we've got that mile and a quarter breeding definitely in there. Smart Strike was his grandfather on the other side, which means Smart Strike is his grandfather and his great grandfather. So I don't know how that counts in the inbreeding scale, and I guess it's not too close of breeding to make the horse not perform well because he won the Kentucky Derby. So perhaps that's an advantage. Anybody know any more about breeding and how close you can get it? I know a little bit about it. I know you can't be too close in the breeding, or else you run the chance of getting a horse that just doesn't develop right. But then there's other ways where you can stack the breeding, and you have, you know, this horse is over here, and then you find that he's somewhere in the family tree a couple of generations back or over, and the same horse is you could be related to the same horse on both sides of the family tree, and have it have a it's like a positive effect. It's like you could get the genes together from this old horse and try to recreate a stronger presence of this old horse by having them on both sides of the family tree. To an extent, but I'm not a genius. You know, I'm not really an expert on that. Just done a little messing around in video game world on breeding horses. Uh, but back to the real world. That's what we got here with Rich Strike. His career has been a little shoddy. Um, I said he was mismanaged. Some people think I'm wrong. I'm sticking by that. Uh, After you get a win in a mile at Churchill Downs, 136 winning by 17 lengths, you keep the horse on dirt, period. All right. The old trainer didn't know that. The new trainer didn't know that. Took him to Turfway Park, and he ran some okay races on artificial surface. You know, fourth in the John Battaglia, third in the Jeff Ruby Stakes. But those races are just they're not tough races. I mean, I think everybody knows that. Not tough competition in those races. But then he comes back to dirt, back to Churchill Downs, and he shows out in the Kentucky Derby. So the horse obviously seems to like dirt, obviously seems to like Churchill Downs. Now, running at Belmont's a bit different. Sonny Leone, don't know his experience at Belmont, but I don't think he's ridden many races at Belmont, so I think that could be a hindrance to Rich Strike. Gonna have to see how it shakes out. He benefited from that ultra fast pace and the pace in the Kentucky Derby, which is good for a deep closer. He does like to close from deep, probably the deepest closer in this pack. But we'll have to see if that works to his favor. If the other horses get tired, that can be good. But if the leaders get ahead of him and don't get pushed too much, he might not be able to catch up. So that's what Rich Strike is facing. Definitely a contender, though. You look at those workouts, he seems to be in good shape. They got him at 7-2 morning line odds. Insult, just as the 80-1 was an insult that they had him in the Kentucky Derby. This is insulting as well. 7-2 after winning the Kentucky Derby. Two good races on dirt. That's just stupid to put this horse at 7-2. It's probably not going to be 7-2. That's why I expect these odds to not stick. Number 5. Creative Minister, 6-1 morning odds. BJ Hernandez on this horse again. He has done well riding this horse. Always in the money on this one too. 4 outs, 2 wins, a second and a third. It's 11-10. Last out was a third in the Preakness. He showed that he can run with the big boys after getting that win on Derby Day, mile 116 to 142. So he's put up the time, run against the tough horses, hit the board. Still got to find that signature win. Don't know if he's going to have enough for the signature win in this one. He's out of Creative Cause, who's a Giants Causeway horse, who was out of Stormcat. not necessarily a lot of distance in that breeding line that I've found. He's got Tappet on the other side, so he's got some distance there with the AP Indy angle from Tappet. But a lot of these horses have a little distance on one side of the family tree. Don't know if it's going to make too much of a difference in this one. Creative Minister's going to need a good ride. BJ Hernandez is going to have to perform, I'd say, a little bit better than he does on average. He's one of those guys I think really only wins when he's got the best horse in the race. Not quite sure Creative Minister's the best horse in this race. He is a good horse. Going to have to prove it on the track, though. I don't know how well B.J. Hernandez really knows Belmont. I don't know how much he's ridden there, but not a lot, I'm sure. Number 6, Mo Donegal. Now, Mo Donegal I thought was the best-looking horse going into the Kentucky Derby. Got caught in that dreadful one hole, which still proves New Gator not to not be a good thing, which you can't, moving the gate around is not going to change your being 20 horses in the race. They're just, I don't know. People have weird ideas, myths about stuff in horse racing, and put a little bit too much weight on certain aspects. And it's just tough to come out of the one hole against 20 other horses if you're not a front runner. And I think he got caught up in a lot of that traffic. Did recover to run 5th. Didn't maneuver as well as he needed to maneuver, is because Rich Strike with Sonny Leone was able to maneuver better and able to get inside and get the win. But Mo Donegal did close well, get to 5th in the Kentucky Derby after having the win in the Wood by a neck over early voting. Looking for a signature win here for Irad Ortiz Jr., looking for his 2nd Belmont. Todd Pletcher looking for his 4th Belmont Stakes. Hey, what can I say? I like this horse. The only problem with Mo Donegal is this breeding. Uncle Mo, and then you got Pulpit on the other side, which was kind of like the weak link in between Tappet and AP Indy. There wasn't that many great Pulpit horses besides Tappet. It's kind of like you just have the recessive gene or something and got passed along to Tappet. But Pulpit didn't really show it. But, I don't know, maybe it's just there. Maybe it's just one of those things with breeding. But the breeding just doesn't look to be as strong to me for Mo Donegal. But, the breeding only goes so far. You got to train your horse. Horse has got to be healthy. Horse has got to be happy. Horse has got to run well. So you can't just look at breeding and say, oh, that's it. He's bred to win this race. It's over. It doesn't work that way. Number 7. Golden Glider at 20-1. Dylan Davis riding this one. Ghost Zapper horse. So I like the breeding on this one. Ghost Zappers, of course, is out of Awesome again. So very strong breeding line at that mile and quarter distance at least. Don't know what this horse really has on the track though. 2nd in the Peter Pan, 10 lengths off of We the People. Now to run 2nd behind We the People that would be good, but 10 behind, it just makes We the People look better to me. Golden Glider, not very impressive there. 4th in the Bluegrass Stakes before that. 4th in the Tampa Bay. Just not impressive races from Golden Glider. Not expecting him to pick it up in this one. How does he win? Off race. Crazy pace. Don't think he's just going to get the lead and run away with it on any kind of Sarava type thing or anything. So, you get one of those races where the time is like 2:32 or something, maybe Golden Glider gets the win in that case. Just not seeing much out of this horse. As much as I want to, I think the thing I like the most about this horse is his father, Ghost Zapper. And the thing I like second most about the horse is his grandfather, Awesome again. Number 8, Barber Road. This horse had a race day, another Tappet horse. 10-1 on the morning odds. Joel Rosario jumping onto this horse after running 2nd in the Derby in Preakness aboard Epicenter. I'm sure he wanted to crack the Belmont with Epicenter. That's not the way they're going to do it, though. So he's coming back with Barber Road, who ran 6th in the Derby. Good workout coming into this one. 1 minute breezing out of the gate. Horse has shown some improvement, I guess you would say. He's had Raylu Gutierrez and stuff riding him before. He had Tyler Gaffalione riding him for a decent race once. So the horse has shown a little bit of promise. Second in the Arkansas Derby behind Cyberknife, even though that time was slow. That was Gutierrez again. Switching up to Joel Rosario. Huge upgrade on the back. Don't know how much Rosario is going to get out of this horse. I am expecting him to get a bit more out of the horse than Raylu Gutierrez got out of him. Don't know if it will be enough for the horse to be competitive in this one. And going that mile and a half, it's going to be something. Rosario has won this race twice before, though, so he does know how to get it done. Arguably the best jockey in America. I still like Ortiz slightly better. But Rosario's still hot, and nothing, you can't take Rosario down out of that conversation at all. So that's a definite upgrade on the back. The pace, however, in this one's going to make the race. After looking at the horses, I felt a certain way about the race. After looking at the pace of the race, it seems like it may be kind of slow. You get one of those New York paces, one of them 51-second opening half miles. I don't think so, though. Don't think so. Barber Road, early in his career, showed a little bit of early speed. The jockey change, and I'm just kind of guessing the strategy. He was more successful showing a little bit of early speed. They've switched the jockey up now, and I'm thinking they may be going back a little bit to that strategy. So I'm thinking Rosario might have him a bit more forwardly positioned than he has been in the past few races. We the People, of course, probably going to try to go for the lead. Had success in the Peter Pan doing that. Why mess up a good thing? And then also we've got Golden Glider. I think maybe in the mix, maybe enough to push the pace a little bit. Not expecting Flavian Pratt, even if he does get the lead easily, to just chill. Something tells me they're still going to go around 47 seconds in that opening half. We the People, I think, will get the lead. Like I said, I think we're going to have Barber Road and Golden Glider right behind him. I think the rest will sit probably 2 to 3 lengths off of that. Probably Rich Strike all the way in the back of the pack. I don't think it'll be too exciting in that first 3 quarters. I think everybody's going to kind of settle in and wait to make that move, like they do over there in England in those turf races where they don't try to start winning the race until it lasts furlong. Not going to be that dramatic, I think, but you know what I mean. I think they will be a bit conservative in going for the win. But in aggressive fashion. I am expecting Irad Ortiz Jr. aboard Mo Donegal to make that move. He knows the track well. He knows how to win here. I think he's going to be the first one to kind of break pace, and he's going to go for the win, go for the lead over We the People. I think he'll have plenty of room because I don't expect him to be too close to the front. So I expect him to come on strong. Also, we're going to be looking at Rich Strike. I think Sonny Leon might take a cue from some of the other horses, and he might move a bit too late, not being as familiar with the track. Might move a bit too late, but I do expect him and B.J. Hernandez as well to move and move pretty strong once they do go. I'm looking for Mo Donegal to move past We the People. Probably around the mile mark. I think We the People will hang in there around the mile mark. I do think he's going to get tired. They'll push him. He won't have enough to keep up with Mo Donegal, who will swing around, shoot home for that victory, and give Todd Pletcher his 4th Belmont Stakes, and get Irad Ortiz Jr. his 2nd Belmont Stakes. So I'm going with Mo Donegal for the win. As I said, Rich Strike, I expect to make that move a bit late. I do think he will catch We the People, and I do think that Rich Strike will run 2nd. 3rd, B.J. Hernandez as well. I was kind of torn on who was going with for 2nd. I was like, do I like B.J. Hernandez or Sonny Leon? Tough call, right? Sonny Lowe's just coming off a suspension, being suspended for being a bit too aggressive. And as I say, it's better to be suspended for being too aggressive than to be suspended for not being aggressive enough, like the Maras caught down there, Gulf Stream, slowing your horses down and stuff like that. So Sonny Leone, um, aggressive guy, a bit more aggressive, B.J. Hernandez. So I'm going with him in to get the second. Third, as I said, creative minister, B.J. Hernandez, hits the board again, stays in the money, not getting the win though. Fourth place pick I'm going with this is Skippy Longstocking. Manny Franco, I think he's decently familiar with the track enough to get this horse home for fourth. I think Skippy Longstocking is not a bad horse, just running against very tough competition the past few races. Perhaps need to take a step down, but hey, maybe it's better to go ahead and hit the board in some of these other races. So I like Skippy Longstocking to try to come out and hit fourth place. Now Nest, I like Nest to close. Todd Pletcher, Jose Ortiz. I just don't think Nest has the speed. I just don't. I don't know. Tough horse. I just don't think Nest really has the speed. Probably better off against the fillies. Probably facing off against Secret Oath again sometime in the future. We the People, I think, is going to fade off. Don't think Golden Glider and Barber Road, when it comes time for them to make the move, I don't think they'll know what happened. I think they'll get blown. Mo Donegal will blow by them. And, they'll fade off into the pack along with We the People. So there we have it. I'm going Mo Donegal for the win. 6-4-5-2 in the Super. Going to be tough place for this one, betting wise. As you all know, I don't really like to give out the bets. One of those reasons being because the odds kind of determine how the bets I make. If a horse drops too low, you don't want. I personally don't want to play him to win. If I thought he was a winner, to a win play, and the odds drop too low, I'll most likely will switch it to an exacta or a try, depending on what the rest of the race looks like. So I kind of like to see what these odds are going to look like. Mo Donegal may be the favorite. We the People still probably going to be right in there. Rich Strike may drop to being the favorite as well. So we're going to have to take a look at the odds in this one and see how to play this. But to me, it's looking more like an exotic play instead of a straight up play race. At least for me. At least for me. Everyone bets different. It's like investing in stocks. You can't tell someone how to invest in stocks unless you know how much money they have, how much money they're working with, and what their goals are, how much they're trying to win. And same thing in horse racing. Maybe you got a huge bankroll and you're just looking for a safe play. It's going to make a small return. I mean, if people get ecstatic about a 5% return in the stock market, that's a $2.10 payout on a horse race. Very easy to hit a $2.10 payouts with these, placing shows on favorites, especially a race like this. So I don't know how you're playing. You may want to, throw a couple $1,000s on Mo Donegal to show, or you may be one of the people that's looking to hit something big, and so you're looking for a super. You may be looking just to play something safe, just to make sure you get a win, cash a ticket, have some fun. So maybe you're just going to look for a place bet. So that's what I don't like to tell people how to bet. It's a lot of different circumstances involved, and every single pool pays. Believe it or not, every pool pays out in every race for the most part. I mean, every now and then there's a pool that doesn't pay, rolls over. But yeah. So there we have it. I'm going to leave it there. We may get into some betting strategies and whatnot over the summer if there's more time. But that's what I'm going with for the Belmont 6452. Let me know what you all think in this one. I'm expecting to see a lot of different opinions. I think there will be a lot of We the People fans. I think there will be a lot of Rich Strike fans. I think there's going to be some Mo Donegal fans. And there's a few people I'm hearing that are liking Nest, and maybe even Barber Road with the switch to Joe Rosario. So I'm interested to see what the people say. Always like to hear people's people's picks before the race. Hear what people are thinking. So please, like I said, drop those in the comments section, and we'll keep an eye on this race. And I will see y'all after race time, unless we got some kind of scratch or some kind of change or weather change or something like that. So see y'all then.